In a modest compound, tucked inside a busy part of Lagos, two small apartments shared a single thin wall. On one side lived Jasmine, on the other lived Ben. They were aware of each other long before they ever spoke. Not because anyone introduced them, but because in a place like that, privacy didn't exist. Jasmine noticed him first. Every morning, as she stepped out, dressed neatly for school, simple skirts, well ironed blouses, her hair always tidy, she would sometimes catch him outside, laptop bag in hand, or standing by his door. And every time, she would look away quickly. Because Ben was distracting, tall, calm, effortlessly attractive. The kind of man that made you check your reflection twice. Ben noticed her too. How could he not? She moved with quiet confidence, not loud, not attention seeking, but impossible to ignore. He would glance at her when she wasn't looking, and when she turned, he would pretend he had always been looking somewhere else. They both knew that they lived next door, that they saw each other almost every day, but somehow they never said it. No hi, no good morning, nothing, just glances and silence. Pride, maybe, or fear of breaking whatever unspoken tension existed between them. Jasmine would return home every evening, tired from teaching, her bag heavy with students' notebooks. Inside her apartment, her day wasn't over. She would cook quickly, then sit with her laptop, taking online lessons, marking scripts, or preparing for the next day. And through it all, she could hear him, typing, moving, sometimes on calls. Ben, on the other hand, rarely left. He worked remotely, always indoors, always focused. But even in his busiest moments, he noticed when Jasmine returned because her door had a distinct sound. And without realizing it, he had memorized it. Living that close came with a prize. They heard everything. Every chair dragged across the floor, every cupboard opened, every phone alarm. At first, it was irritating. Jasmine would sigh when she heard loud typing late at night. Ben would frown when her early morning alarm rang one too many times. Sometimes they would knock on the wall, not playfully but in complaint. Tap tap. Reduce the noise. That was the message. And the other always understood. It became a quiet war of irritation. Not serious, but constant. Their first real interaction happened because of a hammer. It was late evening. Jasmine had just settled down with her laptop when bang, bang, bang. She jumped. What is that? Bang! The sound came again, right from the wall. Annoyed, she stood up immediately and marched out of her apartment. She knocked on Ben's door. He opened almost instantly, holding a hammer. For a moment, they both froze. Up close, it was worse. He was more attractive than she remembered. She swallowed, trying to stay serious. Sorry, but the noise, she said, gesturing behind her. It's a bit much. Ben nodded calmly. I understand, I'm fixing something on the wall. She waited, expecting him to stop, but instead, he added, You might have to bear with it. It's a shared wall. Her eyebrows lifted slightly. That doesn't make it less disturbing. A small smile tugged at the corner of his lips. Fair enough, I'll try to be quick. There was no anger, no real arguments, just awareness, and for the first time, they spoke. After that night, something shifted. The noise didn't stop, but the irritation reduced. When Jasmine heard him working late, she didn't knock anymore. When Ben heard her alarm in the morning, he didn't complain. They became tolerant, understanding. One afternoon, Jasmine slipped slightly on the wet compound floor while returning from work. Before she could steady herself, someone caught her arm. Ben. You okay? He asked. She nodded quickly, embarrassed. Yeah, thank you. He didn't say much more, just gave a small nod and walked back inside. But that moment lingered. From that day, they stopped feeling like strangers. It started quietly. One evening, Jasmine returned home and noticed the folded paper by her door. She picked it up, confused. Inside, it read, You look really beautiful when you're focused. I see you sometimes. Her heart skipped. She looked around immediately. No one. The next day, another note. You work too hard. Try to rest sometimes. Then another. Your smile, it's rare. Don't hide it too much. Jasmine was both flattered and unsettled. Who was watching her? Who knew her routine? She considered asking around, but something stopped her. The notes weren't creepy. They were gentle, kind, and strangely accurate. She started keeping them, reading them at night, smiling without realizing it. Ben watched her happiness grow from a distance. He knew sending the notes was risky, but saying it to her face, that felt impossible. What if she rejected him? What if it ruined the quiet connection they already had? So he chose distance, paper, ink, hidden affection. Meanwhile, Jasmine found herself thinking about two people, the man next door and the mystery person writing to her, not knowing they were the same. One afternoon, everything changed. Ben got the call. A major tech deal he had been working on for months had finally gone through. Not just successfully, life changing. By evening, his phone wouldn't stop ringing. Emails, messages, congratulations. He sat in silence after it all, staring at his small apartment. This place, this wall, Jasmine. He knew one thing. He couldn't stay here anymore. Saturday morning came quietly. Jasmine noticed movement outside. She stepped out and saw Ben parking his car. Boxes? Bags? Her heart dropped instantly. Before she could stop herself, she walked up to him. Are you going somewhere? She asked. He looked at her. For a moment, he hesitated, then said simply, I'm moving. Got a place on the island. Her chest tightened. Oh wow, that's good. Congratulations. She forced a smile, but her voice betrayed her. A tear slipped down before she could stop it. She turned quickly. I should go. But before she could take a step, Ben gently held her wrist. Jasmine, she froze. He stepped closer. I didn't want to leave without telling you something. Her heart pounded. I love you, he said softly. I've loved you for a long time. She didn't hesitate. I love you too. The words surprised even her. Then suddenly, her eyes widened. Wait, have you been the one sending those notes? Ben smiled and nodded. Her mouth fell open. All this time, why didn't you say something? I was scared, he admitted, and I didn't want to lose what we had. Jasmine shook her head, smiling through tears. You're unbelievable. Ben laughed softly. I know. He stepped closer. I'm not disappearing. I just need to settle in first, then I'll come back for you. Her heart softened at those words. Promise? Promise. They exchanged numbers and then a kiss. Simple, real, long overdue. That wall that once separated them had been the reason they found each other. From noise to irritation to quiet love hidden in folded papers, and now, no more pretending, no more silence. Just two people who almost let pride cost them everything, but didn't. Because sometimes love lives right next door, waiting for just one moment of courage.